the Jewish peoples journeying in the Midbar, in the desert, with the ultimate goal of reaching Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel. In fact, the Chumash tells us in source number 1, they journeyed from the mountain of Hashem a 3-day distance, and the Ark of the Covenant of Hashem journeyed before them a 3-day distance to search out for them a resting place. We have here the excitement, the momentum of Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, ready to enter in to the land of Israel, the Ark moving quickly. The cloud of Hashem was over them by day when they journeyed from the camp. We had the famous section of Vayhi Sala Aaron. Then the Ark would journey. Moshe would say, Kuma Hashem, arise Hashem, and let your foes be scattered. And this is it. As Moshe Rabbeinu said to Yitro, Nosima nachnu al makom. We are journeying to the place. This was the goal. We would expect and anticipate that the next pasuk would say, and the Jewish people entered into the land of Israel. But instead we have, in the asterisk, the people look to seeking complaints. Vayhi am ki mitonanim ra b'oznei Hashem. It was evil in the ears of Hashem, and Hashem heard, and his wrath flared, and a fire of Hashem burned against them, and it consumed at the edge of the camp. We don't know what exactly was the complaints, but all we do know is that the complaints were severe enough that Hashem consumed by fire the people who complained. The result of this was that the rabble, the Asafstuf in verse 4, that was among them, cultivated a craving. And the children of Israel also wept once more and said, who will feed us meat? Remember the fish that we ate in Egypt for free? And then we have the people complaining about the meat, Hashem giving them meat for 30 days, many people dying, places called Kivros Hatava, and we enter into the slippery slope that ultimately ends with the Shlichus HaMeraglim, with the sending of the Meraglim, which we will have in next week's Parsha. In looking at this section, there are quite a number of questions that we have to deal with that are really fundamental in our understanding of Chumash. Perhaps the most basic is, what is going on here? How are we to understand individuals who are leaving the mountain of God? Individuals who experience the closeness that no other group of people ever experienced. How are we to understand that within 3 days they fell so severely that they're complaining against God, they're wanting meat, we don't even know what the complaints are? How are we to look at this section? And I'd like to do 3 things today. I'd like to do 3 things today in order to be able to really be able to appreciate our learning of this section. Item number 1 is a general overview of how we need to treat the Dor HaMidbar, the generation of the desert. What is our approach to the individuals that have sinned? And it's not only in this week's Parsha, it's a general approach to the way we look at the individuals found in Tanakh. The second level is based on this to then look from different commentators at the sins that are, or so to speak, sins going on here, and be able to explain them on a much deeper level. And on the third approach, and this is what Rav Reif speaks about, he says that all of these psukim in source 3, Ein lecha parsha afilu pasuk b'Torah she'ein bo hanichiyut hamechuvenet l'tovat hayehudi. Obviously, we are meant to learn things from this. We are meant to grow from these experiences. And obviously, the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what experience, what do we learn from their experiences for our personal lives? How do we take these stories, which seem to be just stories, and see that they are a real model for our avodas Hashem, our service of God? Those are the 3 things I'd like to, with Hashem's help, accomplish today. Item number 1 is, what is our perspective to the Dor HaMidbar? And he explains the following. He says, and this is source number 6, that the Sefer HaKadosh Megale Amukos notes that on the pasuk of Davar Tziva Le'elif Dor, that we have to understand that every member of Klal Yisrael was shakul, was equal to 1,000 people. We're dealing with people who are on the exceptional level of holiness. And therefore, al korcha chayav ata lomar, we are forced to say, shechateim einam mitparshim kemashtama b'shitchiyut. It cannot be understood superficially. Bichdei lavin afilu b'miksat et chayehem, in order to be able to even try to fathom what's going on here, we have to see it from the perspective of who they are. And this is a general principle in life. Haklal masur b'yodeinu hu she'ein ladun al anashim ve'al marot ad shemigi'im limkomam. We cannot judge people until we reach their place. And that is the general rule in any interpersonal relationship. However we conduct our understanding of people, we have to realize that each one of us is different, and each and every one of us is going to perceive a situation differently. I just happen to have this experience, and I thought about this piece of Rav Rice maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, where I had a conversation with somebody